Congratulations. Go with it home. I say congratulations. Go back with it.
Conditional statements in Python are used in order to allow the programmers to carry out the decision on their code based on the setting condition. Also, they control the flow of program by executing a certain block of code. That is either the condition is true or false. In this tutorial, I outline 4 basic conditional statements we have to discuss. In number 1, we have if statement, which only execute a block of code if that condition is true. Number 2, we have if-else statement, which means it's an alternative of if statement and it can execute a statement even if the block of code is false. And in number 3, we have if-else if statement, which execute a multiple block of codes. And in number 3, we have nested if statement, which include a statement or if statement within if. Follow me as we are in day 6 of our introduction to Python programming. So we are going to start with if statement. Already we have a save file using our VS Code with the name if statement.py. So we are going to write if statement. We know if statement can only be execute a block of code if that certain condition is true, otherwise it will not be in a deadlock, right? And we know in our previous programming languages that we have been discussing here on this platform is that if you have a, or the syntax of if statement is that you are going to have if condition open curly braces statement and close curly braces. But here in Python the story is different, where you can only have if statement that the condition is optional to be within or enclosed within parentheses or left outside within outside the parentheses. Then you have a double quote or column, then you have a statement. That's all. So let's try, or first of all write, we can decide to write if 5 is greater than 2, we have our column, isn't it? So we now write the statement print within the parentheses we have the value is true. So that's all. Let's run this and see the output, and definitely it's going to print out this statement. And you can see we are going to have a series. So you see now the value is what is true, so it has captured this. But if now in the case of the value of 5, if 5 is greater than what 6, so let's run this thing, it's going to give us no output value, as you can see here on the output terminal. You see it, right? So now let's see how we can refine this by declaring a variable a is equals to let's say 10, and let's assume we have b is equals to 15. Then we come here and say we are now including parentheses and say we have if a is greater than or equals to b, then it should print this statement. If we run this, it will not print because a is not greater than b. But if we say it b here is greater than, or sorry, we may decide also to say less than or equals to. Where is our less than? Is here, less than or equals to b. So this time around it's going to print the value is true. So you see how this if statement works, right? So, and in the second conditional statement we have if-else statement, and if-else statement provide an alternative block of code, that is if the condition is false, so it can also be able to print it out. So assuming we have this, let's assume we have greater than now. We know definitely it's going to be print nothing, right? It's going to be in deadlock. So we are going to refine this to what else. Under this else, instead of us to what write parent curly braces and in the other programming of C++, C, Java, and so we can just write our column. Then we have our statement again, and our statement can read out this very statement here. We can say the value is now false, right? The value is now false. So once we run this thing, it's going to have two-way alternative. It should either print the value is what true or the value is false. So it must print out something. It will not end in deadlock. So let's run this and see. Run, and you see now the value is false because A is not greater than B. So if we still change this to less than, it's going to execute the value is true. So, and I believe you have enjoyed this, how we use our if statement and if else statement. So the next thing we are going to look at here, if else if statement is what we are going to look, is going to this have what? A series of if statements. So that means you are going to have a multiple if else statement. Let's assume we have if A greater than B, and then else. So we are going to have else if here. Let's say we are going to have neither true or false, or neither positive or negative. Let's try to run up this and see. If else the value is false. So let's say let's run something like we have else now. We have else if, or is it? We have else if, and our else if here is L if, not else. Is L if, right? Are we together? So we are going to refine this. So it's going to be L if, then we should have also condition here. We should have condition less than or equals to B. So it will now be able to print the value of false. So now we have else, right? Else it's going to print the value is neither true or false. Are we together? So it's neither true or false. This time around, if we run this, we know definitely it's going to give us false. If we change this to less than, it's going to give us false. But what if we decide to say here B is minus 10 and then run it? What will happen? Sorry, minus 10 is also positive. Is going to be, let's say, let's just write something, and this is going to be invalid. It's going to be invalid. So we are going to tactically add C here is equals to 20. If A is greater than B, else if A is less than, what is the problem? Is less than C, or let's say C is less than B, or is equals to B, please. Is equals to B. Why now? Why? C is equals to B is going to be double equality sign. So this time around it's going to run without any error. But the issue here, we are comparing C, B. So let's say here also we have 20. Let's run this and see. So now you see now the first one is what? A is greater than or equals to B. Then here C is equals to this. So let's say the value are equals, or the values are equal. So let's run it now. So our target is what? The value are equal. Are we together? So if and only if again we decide to say this noun is equals to 19. My 6,000. So it's going to run something else. That is, the value is neither true or false. So this is how you use if else if statement. So now we are going to use if else if statement to write a real world scenario where user is going to what? Declare a variable with a score, and the system will be able to print a grade for him. So let's say here we are going to have a mark score, or just a score, and a score, this score could be 70, or the score could be 62 or 63. We are going to take away these variables. So we are coming here to say if this score now, if this score
kana da kuɗi ba CEO
is greater than or equals to, let's say 70,
shine
so we
nace
should
ka shiga
print
yin testing ne
what?
ina da demo account
The grade, or just let's just say A, or we
demo
use
ka shiga
grade A, isn't it?
username nawa
So we are going to
bari in
copy
gani
this
Abdul
and
bai yarda
say
da kai bane
else score again greater than
eh
or equals to what?
a wajen
60,
wannan nawayen ne
isn't it? So it's going to be what?
it's okay yanzu
Print
sai ka
out
shiga
B this time around.
a'a nan kai
So
sign
the
out
same
ka shiga account
if,
din demo ne suna account
the same if, then
wanda
the
yake da kuɗi na
condition,
sa kuɗi da safe da
the
jiya da
condition
daddare
should be
lokacin da
score
muke
again
live ga na gaya sai
greater
muka
than
yi
or
creating
equals
account
to
din muka yi funding
equals to
nawa
50 this time around. So it's going to print what we left out our column here is going to be C.
da rabon kati a wajen ka ne da safe
We have same elif. In our elif again we have
ka
condition
sa small yayi
to
ka sa
follow
capital D
with a score
yeah.
greater than or equals to 45. Then it should print E or D. Then we have elif again. The condition should be score equal greater than or equals to 40. We have our column as usual, then we print out this time around E. So otherwise that's where the else will come from. Otherwise it will print if. Are we together? So we run this thing and see we are going to have B. You see now the output is B. So here again, if we change this to 50, we are going to have C. You see it. So what if again we decide from here to have that variable of a score that we are having here, we want user to impute that certain value into the system, that we want the system to prompt user to insert a score. So we might decide to say score is equals to, we set int, then we have our input. You remember our input function, right? Our input. So this time around we are going to have what? Enter the score. We did not include column, please. We need to include double quote, please. So again here, if we are printing this time around, we should include our f function. We should also include our f function
these
throughout.
Are the people that want to see me down in this
throughout f.
I'm doing live. People are now posting their matric numbers.
We are having this. Let's run and see. So
that is why I stop online.
Have empty space here. I always love to give
they will
space
just
here.
go and meet one of my videos be posting matric numbers.
So you see now, let's enter 40.
1 to 4.
And then hit enter. You see now, grade is what? Equals to E. So what again if I want
it's not good,
the grade
1 to 4
with a
98 naira
score? I want the grade to pick a score. The grade of a score, let's say we have this. What is the score variable? We write the score variable. And then the same thing here.
This one you did this
is like what we included, right?
You don't grow up now.
We still include
you're no longer a fresher. See, even this
so
we put like lipstick.
We are going to include it here
to match with your lipstick, and
we are including it here again.
Not the small thing.
We are adding it here.
It's not around. Now
adding it here again,
baby.
As well as this. So let's try to run this and see again.
Not small matter.
So let's assume we have type 39, isn't it? And then enter. You see now, the grade of grade with a score 39 is 58. So and this is because I have these things in double. Sorry. So I can decide to remove this. This is something else. So let's run it again and see. Let's assume I have type 70. Hit enter. You see now, grade with a score 70 is A. So this is how you go about with your if else, and if else if statement in order to achieve your decision within your block of code. Thank you for being with us. In our next class of day 7, we are going to discuss nested if statement, and we are going to exhibit a real world scenario and see how this nested if statement works in a real scenario. Class and you found it worthy, share our video, like and comment. Remain blessed.